Hi, good evening, everybody, and welcome to this demonstration of mediumship. I look forward to getting around as many of you as possible tonight. I don't know whether I'm still meant to be seeing the Facebook page because I can't, but I can see the names and that, so I don't know if that's okay, but I'm just telling you, that's fine, that's okay. So I'd like to know tonight where you're all joining me from. What part of the world are you coming from us tonight? Because I remember the last time I was on here, there was Mauritius and Sri Lanka and you name it, all over. So I always like to know where you're all joining me from tonight. I'm joining you from the west of Scotland. I lived not far from the bonny banks of Loch Lomond, right on the edge of the Gairloch, which is lovely in summer, but at the moment it's pretty cold and miserable. So I'm joining you tonight from Scotland. Actually, we're hoping this year sometime to open a retreat teaching centre where I'm living. So if you want to keep an eye on my Facebook and that, there could be some exciting news coming up from that. But we're waiting for planning at the moment, so that's taking forever. It says COVID, working from home, but I think that was long over, but there you are. So I've been a medium now working medium now for about 8 years. I've been developing medium for about 20 years. And I think it was Tony Stockwell who eventually kicked me up my bottom and said, it's time you got out there and started to work, or I'd probably still be a developing medium. So as for about 8 years, I've been a working medium. I love doing shows. I love doing floor shows. I do private readings. So if you like what you see and you're interested in a private reading, you can always contact me and we can discuss that. I just basically love working for spirit. It's such a thrill to be able to feel that communicator coming close, be able to place that communicator, and then to know that I've made a difference to somebody's life, or I've maybe brought somebody some peace. I had a lovely message this week from a lady I'd read for about a month ago from her daughter, and her son had died unexpectedly without her being able to say goodbye, and I was able to bring some messages and some closure, and she messaged me last night to say what a huge difference it had made to her mum. So that's what kind of keeps you going, because being a medium is not an easy job. So if you think I'm going to have a go at being a medium, trust me, it's not easy. And we can't rehearse. You turn up. This is a very strange way of working for me tonight. You turn up and you just have to trust that spirit turn up too. Hi, Cloud Ma'am. I hope you'll enjoy this demonstration tonight. I don't know if you've seen me work before, but I hope you'll enjoy us tonight. Good evening, Shelley. I don't know where you're joining me from, but it'd be nice to know where you're coming to me from. Good evening, Karen and Richard. Good evening, Terry Louise. Thanks for joining us. Evening, lovely. I like that. Hi, Kerry. Lovely to see you too. Hope you enjoy your evening with us. Marion, evening from Norfolk. Hi. I used to live in Suffolk, so I know Norfolk quite well. I don't know if you know the medium Roger Coleman in Norfolk, but I recommend, if you don't, that you check him out, because he was one of my early teachers and he's a fantastic medium, Roger Coleman. Hi there, Luana. Or Luna, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. Nice to have you join us tonight. Hello, Charlotte, wherever you're joining me from. I hope you enjoy our evening with us. Big hello from Bonnie, Scotland. Good, another Scottish one. Well, welcome. It's not very good weather here in Scotland at the moment. Another one from Norfolk. Oh, I like all the Norfolk ones. As again, I'll back for Roger Coleman if you get a chance to see him work. That would be good. Be a good opportunity for you. Benny, hi Benny. I don't know where you come from. I like the hat. I don't know if that's you or a picture of. Hi, first time here. I'm from Birmingham. Welcome from Birmingham. All over the world. Hello from Canada. Hi. I lived in Canada for a while. I lived for a while in Vancouver, so I know Canada quite well. Hello from upstate New York. Hello, New York. Welcome. Hi, Karen from Edinburgh. Hello. That's not that far. You're the other side of the country for me. So hello to Edinburgh as well. Evening all. Evening, Kaylee. Nice to see you joining us tonight. it's lovely to have the opportunity on something like this. Hi, Laura. It's like to be able to connect with people all over the world. And I think that's the wonderful thing that COVID has given us. It's forced me, and I know a lot of other mediums, now to start working digitally. So instead of just having like the local area to work in, we've now got the whole world as our oyster. Hi, Karen. Welcome. Thank you, June. I hope we have a great evening. So do I. I've spoken to them all earlier on and said, look, you need to be here tonight. So I'm hoping they turn up and bring some communications. Hi from Ohio, sending love to all. Let's send love back to Ohio as well. Nice to join. Hi from North Wales. Hi, Chris. Nice to see you. Have I been to Wales? I don't think I've ever been to Wales. So maybe I'll come and visit North Wales sometime. There's quite a few good mediums from Wales. Hello from Coventry, Sue. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Hope you enjoy your evening. Hello, Gemma from South Yorkshire. Nice to see you. I like the cat staring at me here. Hello, Betsy. First time here from Bournemouth. Well, I hope you enjoy it, Bournemouth, and Betsy, and that you'll come back another evening and maybe try out a different medium or try what else is available on the channel, because I know they do lots of different things on the channel. So I hope you enjoy the experience. From Nova Scotia, -40. No, we're not anything like that here, so you can keep -40. Thank you very much. I don't think I fancy that at all. And I think the coldest when I was in Vancouver, it got down to -25, and that was cold enough. Hello from Indiana. I would imagine it's a bit warmer in Indiana. I don't know, but I would have thought maybe it was a little bit warmer in Indiana. So welcome from Indiana. We're getting all over the States tonight, and Canada as well, which is nice to see. So yeah, hi Richard and Karen. Hi Millie. Thanks for joining us tonight. I hope you have a good evening. I hope you have a good evening tonight. Hi Karen, first time seeing you. Hi Jay. I've been in here once before. I was just saying to Richard about a year ago. I tend to work more. If you keep an eye on if you like what you see, I do quite a few Zoom demos I enjoy doing, because then I get to see you back rather than just seeing Argentinian. Well, that's impressive, Patricia, but you're the first Argentinian tonight, so well done. Well, we've got from the top of America to the bottom of the South Americans now, so we're traveling the globe. Hello from Dundee, Scotland. My neighbour is from Dundee, Scotland. He hails from there. He's joining in from upstairs, Natasha. Hi from Tasmania, Australia. Wow. It's probably quite early in the morning in Australia, I would imagine, with you at the moment. So thank you for getting up early and joining in. It's always a bit difficult to me, Australia, when I den, because it's always, if they ask me to do an evening den, because it's never really when I want it. I'm usually half asleep or wanting to go to bed or something. Good evening, Isle of Avalon, Glastonbury. Hello, Stephen. Nice to have you join us. I have been to Glastonbury a few times. It's quite a magical place to go. But it's a long way away from me now, Glastonbury. So it might take me a while before I get back again. From Massachusetts, Boston. Now I've been there. I had family lived in Boston, Massachusetts, so I went to visit them, but a long time ago. I love your puppy. That looks like it could be, I don't know what it is. It could be a little beagle. I don't know what it is, but it's a gorgeous little puppy, Jennifer. Oh, and I've got all the dogs now. I like the little white ones. Suzanne, hi Suzanne. I've got rid of my pooch tonight. I put him upstairs just in case he decided to howl or bark or something during the night. So hi, I like seeing doggies. Oh, we've got a kingfisher now. Paul, good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I hope you have a good evening. Well, as I'm working and reading, hello, Karen. Another one from Norwich. Norwich is doing really well tonight. Hi, that's my old stomping ground, Suffolk and Norfolk, and I used to serve all the churches around Norfolk and Suffolk, so I know Norfolk quite well. I am aware, as I'm starting to work, I am very much aware of spirit starting to come and join me, and the power beginning to build, because I know as I start to spirits start to move, and I find it more difficult to be compos mentis. My rational brain seems to go. Hello, Ireland. Hi, Matthew. Thank you for joining us. So I'm going to start to go with my link now. Now, I've had this guy joining me for about 3 days, so I know he's very keen to get through to somebody, and I know he tells me very much his brother. And I know as he tells me that, he tells me he wants to talk to his big sister. But I know as he says big sister, I feel like he's laughing at me, because I very much feel that he would swamp you in size. It's like he's calling you his big sister, but if he put his arm around you, you only kind of come up to halfway up his chest. I know very much that he's what I call larger than life. I'm seeing a very florid man here. I don't know if he was starting to lose a little bit of his hair, because I'm just looking at his hair and I don't think it's quite maybe as thick as it once was. And I know as I'm seeing this red cheeks with him. I know he would have loved a laugh, and I know he would have liked a drink as well, because he shows me himself with a pint in his hand. So I know very much we're going there. And I know as he tells me he wants to talk to his sister, he's telling me that the words that I wanted to say, or the words between us, were not able to be said. So I feel very much this gentleman would have died before his sister got the chance to say goodbye, because he makes me feel this is a very quick passing with him. And I know as well as he tells me that too, that I feel he takes me to his chest, and I feel there's a tightness in the chest. And I don't know very much whether this is to do with breathing or to do with the heart, but I just feel as tight. I have to say I'm feeling more this to do with breathing. There's a real sense of tightness in my chest, because it's almost like I feel a sense of panic with him, that I can't get my breath at the end. I can't get my breath at the end. And I know this man would have seemed invincible, not only to his sister, but also to his own family, because I very much feel that, you know, it was such a shock for everybody. I do feel as well, his mum could still be here as well, but I feel like I want to connect to his sister here now. But I feel his mother as well could be in spirit and could be down here, because I know he brings me reference to his mother here. I know he would have been he takes me to cars as well. So I don't know if he's really very good at tinkering with cars, or his car was really important to him, because I know he very much takes me to cars. And I know it was the rugby today, and he takes me to sport, and I know it's a ball sport. I'm not sure if this is rugby or football, but I know very much as well with this, there's a sense of he would have, I'm not saying he would have played, but I know I would have enjoyed watching it. And as I say that, I see watching it with a crowd, so I don't know. Right, okay, Millie. He called me his little sis. He died standing like a drink, stopped breathing in his sleep, didn't have much family. I feel I'll continue to go, because I am, to see if anybody else can understand that, because I am feeling family around. Millie, I don't know if you can say to me, but I do feel that mother is still here. And I feel like, as not only do I want to talk to his sister, but I feel I have to talk to mum as well. You talk about him breathing in his sleep. I feel he must have been awake at the time, because, as I say, I'm getting this sense of panic that I can't breathe. And I feel, I don't know as well, because he makes me aware, as I'm saying that now, of like an oxygen mask or something being placed upon his face. So I feel that there was some kind of help given towards him at the end of his breathing. So keep listening, Millie, but I do feel it's not quite fitting with the way that this man is making me feel. Okay. As I say, I just feel this oxygen mask that somebody's trying to put on his face at the end of his life. My brother, my mum had COPD, my uncle had COPD, died of a heart attack, him and my mum best friends. So that would be your mum's brother. If I'm working with your mum's brother, because that would be brother, but it would be mum. But I feel that mum must still be here. And I don't mean your mum, I mean his mum, because I haven't got a very big lady with his mum here, but I'm very much aware with his mum here that she's never got over his passing. I just feel she's never got over his passing, because I'm just feeling that very much there with him. What else can I give you about this man to help you place him? I just feel, you see, I know we've been talking about, I know I was just talking to Richard about COVID, but I don't know whether this isn't COVID related, because I feel there's some reason why my sister can't see me before I pass. I feel, pardon me, there's some kind of barrier there to stop me being able to see. So I'm going to recap on some of the information because I've given a lot of information. I feel like I have a brother here. Then I have to talk about my little sis. I feel that mum's still here. I am feeling there's a problem with my breathing before I pass because I want to put a mask on here. And I know as well I don't get the chance to speak to my Chloe. That doesn't seem it fits with my brother, took his own life by suffocation. Our mother's still here. Right, okay. That Chloe, can I work with you? So keep listening to you there. I just feel as well. Right, okay. Back to Chloe again. You need to tell me, Chloe, whether or not his mum's still here, because I need to know that mum is still here. I just feel that there. If the lady who just said that the football was his life, I know he may have played it, but I feel it became much more like a watching sport towards the end of his life, because this is the way he's making me feel too. Their mum died. My mum's still broken about his. Me and my mum don't talk. Their mum died a few years prior, but my mum's still broken about his passing. Right, okay. Their mum died a few years prior, but my mum's still broken about his passing. You need to be able to give me more feedback about whether you can understand this information I'm giving, because I need to know. The three things I know: I've got breathing problems, I know that mum's still here, and I know I have to talk to my little sister, and I know there's not a chance to say goodbye. So if you want to respond to me, let me know. You can take those 4 important pieces of information. The sport and that I know is also in there. Yes, mum's still here. Okay, Claire, you seem to be ticking a lot of the boxes. So will you listen to? Can I work with you, Chloe? Let me work with you, Chloe, and see where you're here. You would understand then that mum is broken by this, because she makes me feel. She's not a very big lady, but I almost feel like she's become smaller. But it's not just that she's become smaller in her size. It's like she's withdrawn into herself, because I feel very much her boy. I feel like very much she's saying I would have been her boy, and I feel like I would have been her golden boy, her special boy. I feel like this brother of yours, Chloe, your brother, would have been the life and soul of the family. I just feel that he made such a big impact on everybody's life, and it's like somebody's taken the heart out of your family with your brother going, because I just feel that there with him as well. And I know as I'm working with this man, I know I have to come through, because I don't know whether mom is that interested in this kind of stuff, because I don't know whether mom would, because I feel like I want to get a message to your mom to very much say, but I'm still with you, mom, and I'm still around. And I feel like she really wants that to be true, but I don't think she quite believes it. And he's saying, I'm there, I'm always there. And I know with his mum, when he gave his mum a hug, I feel like he kind of picks her up off the floor, because this is the way he's making me feel. And he's saying he's worried, because if he was to pick her up now, there's nothing of her. So I don't know whether there's been some health issues there with mum, or it's just a loss of your brother that's done it. But I know that he talks about concern around your mum. I know there's so many apologies coming to you as well, Chloe, because I feel like I want to say, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. This should never have happened. I am so sorry. And I feel like I'm such a fool. And I feel as well with this that he's not, it's like when it happened, nobody would have known that it doesn't seem possible that he could be gone. This is what he's making me feel. It just doesn't make me possible that it could be gone. I know he's talking about some kind of singing around his funeral or something, because he's okay. That's you understand this, because this is the way I'm making him feel, right? Okay, but can you understand as well? I feel like I want to go to his funeral, and I'm not sure whether this was actual funeral or whether it was friends or something that got together with him, because I just feel this singing in that, and I'm being toasted. I'm being celebrated for who I was, and I feel very much I have to say to that as well that I like being celebrated. Okay, I'm glad you understand what I'm talking about, because you understand these apologies coming in then. I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. I believe he must have been taken back to hospital, into hospital or something, because again, he shows me himself being taken somewhere at the end of his life. But I don't feel there's resuscitation there, but I know I'm moved at the end of my life. I feel there's no explanation. It feels to me, when you say that, I feel I want to say to you, it was like a sudden decision I made. There was no like, well, I'm thinking, because I feel there's a lot of, if we'd known he was thinking like this, if we knew what was going to happen, we could have done something. And I feel like it just got to that point when he made that decision and did it. And I just feel, because I feel he wants to say, stop holding on to these regrets, that something could be done, because I don't feel it could have been done. But again, he says he feels so foolish, because I feel there was a lot of things going on around him at that time. I don't know if there was problem with relationship or whether with people around him, but I know there was things going on in his life that in his head one time just seems to explode, and that's it. He's gone. Please take his love to your mum, and know very much that he wants her to know that he's still around her. I feel like there's a smell with him. And I don't know why I want to say that okay, that's great, Chloe. A smell with him, and I don't know whether I want to say it's quite a nice smell. So I don't know whether he would have got, if he played sport, he would have got quite sweaty, because I'm feeling like I'm not feeling like a cologne smell with him, but I'm feeling quite a masculine smell around him. And and I know he's saying to me, my mum smells this. So I don't even know whether there's still clothes of his around that somebody smells, but they're talking about this musky smell that he smells. Can you understand? I have to say as well, he didn't cope well with losing his sister. He didn't cope well, but again, these sorries are coming, because after what mum went through with her, how could I have done it to him? Just take his love, take his regrets, and let go of that guilt that I want to say the whole family carry with you, because I just know he's just saying, nobody could have stopped me. Nobody could have stopped me. He was a very determined man, you know. He was lovely and he was very easygoing until he made his mind up. And he said, I made my mind up, and that was it. He said, I didn't want to give anybody the chance to stop me. I'm seeing him with a phone in his hand towards the end, and I don't know whether he thought he wanted to phone somebody, or he was going to send a text or something like that. But I see him looking at the phone and saying, there's nothing I can say, and putting it to one side. I don't think he didn't say any words to you, because I just feel he didn't know what to say. He didn't know what to say. He knew there was nothing. He knew there was nothing nothing he could say that was going to make it any better. Okay, but take his love there. And he raises a glass to me again. So I feel there's either a birthday or a celebration or something coming up, because he tells me very much he's going to be there. Just like I would be in life, I feel like I would always be there with you. And just know he loves you to pieces. I know he tells me as well, before I leave you, I know he tells me as well to tell you his sister was the first person that he saw when he went over. She was there for him, and he said she was well again. She was back to being the girl that I knew, because I feel your sister had quite a few health problems and didn't look like herself before she passes, because he said she was back to being the girl I knew. He said, so tell mum we're together now, but we don't want her here for a while. Okay, so just know they're very much there together. And I send the love of you of this lovely man to you. I'm going to give out some more information about somebody else I'm aware joining me here, but if I get any more information, feedback from Chloe, I'll speak to you as well, Chloe. I'm very much aware I have mum here from Spirit, and I know she brings my attention to this. She's quite an elegant lady, because she's making me feel her hair's nice, and I know she's quite slim, and I've got her clothing on here, and I feel as well that she's nicely dressed. I want to say nicely, very feminine lady. And I know, though she tells me, I feel this is Cancer before I pass to Okay, okay. Thanks, Chloe. I know that this is Cancer that she tells me she goes with, and I feel as well. I feel I want to go to my breast with it as well, but I feel for some reason it's very quick because I don't know whether there was treatment given or not, but I just feel like we find it and I'm gone. It's like there's no there's no time for I feel it's spread already. I don't know if it's in the lymph nodes or what, but I just feel it's spread already. I feel as well with this lady, she's a very proud lady, and she's making me aware that she was aware that things weren't right with her. But I know as I say that as well, that she wouldn't have told somebody. It's like I go on. But I know music is very important to this lady as well. I don't know if she played it, whether she sung, or whether she just loved music around it. Or it could be, as I'm looking at it, it could even be that she loved to dance because she's got that kind of physique around her. Okay, and I know she very well wants to. I feel like I want to come to my daughter that's here, but I don't even know whether there's grandchildren now, because she's talking about not just my daughter but to the others too. So I know very much I have mum here, past of Cancer. I feel I've got breast cancer here, but I feel it's right. John, can you understand that? As long as you can understand the information that I've given, that cancer, breast cancer, it's already spread and we can't stop it, and I'm gone. And you would know this about this elegant lady, because you would look at her, and I want to say you looked at her and she had class. I'm not saying she was a big one for makeup, but I know her hair's nice. She's got a real natural beauty about her too. But it's interesting, I'm reading Partner's mum, because I want to go mum with her. It's like I didn't tell anybody. I didn't want to talk about it. And again, there's this okay, John, thank you. Well, can I work with you then? I know she's, as you say, it's your partner's mum. The first thing she wants to say to you, John, is thank you from the bottom of my heart for being there for my boy. Because it's like you have, and she's making me quite emotional with this. She said when he would have lain down and given up, she said you kept him going. And I know this is partly to do with his mum's passing as well, but I know it's also to do with something or some kind of situation he's been going through in his life as well, because she said I could never have asked for a better partner for my boy. And I don't know whether she also, it's important, she's just saying to me, tell him how proud I am of him, because she said I can see him and I know what he's been through. And she said I am so proud of the way he's still going. He's picked himself up and still going. I don't know whether there's been either a ceremony or you've moved in together, but I feel she's happier that the fact that there seems to be, or there's just a general closer, but she's happiness that there seems to be a new closeness between you that I don't think was as strong when she passed, because she's making me aware of how strong your relationship is. Okay, now she's mentioning a dog. I don't know if you have a dog or there's a dog with her in spirit, but she wants to bring this little dog in with me. So I always get the dog. So I know she comes in and talks about the dog. I feel as well. Now, I don't know. It's interesting because I'm seeing a picture of this lady, but it feels more like a portrait of her than a photograph, which makes me think two things. Did somebody at one stage paint her, or has somebody got like a big photograph blown up, which is almost like a portrait on the wall? Because she brings my attention to this, and she says how much she likes it. She likes the photograph that was used in this picture, but I feel as well this photograph was used for other things too. So I don't know if it would have been used on her funeral program or used in some way at the funeral, but she makes me very much aware that she's talking about this photograph and how much she likes it. She also tells me, though, there's a photograph of her, but there's also a photograph of the two of you, and she's calling you both my boys. You're both my boys, and she's saying you're as much my son now as he is. She said, because she said I can't separate both of you. Again, there's just this thanks from her for everything that you did for her boy. It's just, I just want to keep saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I know as well with it, there's a quiet dignity with this lady. But again, I've got this music, so I don't know what this music is that I'm getting around her, but I'm very much aware of either dancing or liking listening to music or singing in some way. And when she showed me her to herself, she showed me herself outdoors. So I don't know if she liked her garden or whether she liked being outdoors, but I just feel very much his mum wants to show himself outdoors. I know if it's to do with gardens or that, he's saying you either him or you don't take after this, because she's complaining about either the outside or the garden or something and the condition it's in. But anyway, I just know that too. She talks about, I don't know whether you cook for him or he cooks for you, but she's very much with you at meal time, because she said it's such a shared event. And she said it's like I'm there as well, pinching stuff off your plates. She said when I'm there with you. So much love to your partner. But the main message she's coming through with me tonight is to say thank you, John. Thank you, John, for now. I feel I want to call you Johnny or something, and I don't know why. I don't know whether there was a lady in spirit that would have called you Johnny or John Boy or something like that. I feel this is a grandmother or something, just wants to come in and be remembered to you, but she doesn't call you John. There's a nickname or something she calls me, and she very much brings that into me now. So take your grandmother's love, because she's saying, can I not get more? And I said, no, I have to move on. So she's just come in. Give him the biggest hug tonight, she says, and tell him it's from me. Tell him it's from me. And I know as well with this lady, there's a lovely, I know I mentioned not such a nice sweaty smell off the last guy. I'm getting a lovely scent around this lady, and it's almost roses. So I don't know whether she liked roses, whether there was roses at the funeral, or whether she wore the scent of roses. But just take her love and know that she's very much there for both of you now. There's something about a holiday or going away or doing something special she's talking about. She's saying go for it. You both deserve it, because neither of the two of you have had it easy. Okay. And with that, I'll say very much thank you for working with me. I'm very much aware of Dad coming in now, and as I come to Dad, I want to go to my chest. I feel like I've got a weight on my chest. I feel there was heart condition there with him. I feel there'd have been either angina or some kind of small heart attacks before the big one, because he makes me feel when the big one came, it's like I thought somebody had sat on my chest. But I feel like it's as well, he talks about having near misses. So I feel he'd have either had little mini heart attacks or little warnings, because he's just, and I feel as well there'll be some sort of treatment with him, because I feel I'm seeing him in a hospital. I don't know if he passed in hospital or whether he'd been in for some kind of heart surgery or something. I know he very much takes me to his heart. And I know very much, I feel like it's Dad, but I feel I want to talk to my wife as well, because she misses me so much, and I want to say I'm okay. But I know as I say that too, that Mum would have a belief in this, because he's saying she knows I'm there. Because I feel with this man, he could be a pest. You know, he's always a practical joker or making people laugh, or, you know, that kind of gentleman here. And I feel like he plays little tricks with your mum, or he does stuff around the house, because he's saying, I'm doing everything I can to let her know. And he says, if I got to jump out and go, boo, will she believe me then? He comes to you and he's saying to me very much, I know you would have been around him at the end of his life, and I believe you would have been with him at some time when he's in hospital, because I'm aware of tears falling from your eyes onto him. He's making me aware of tears that he felt at the end of his life, and they're not his tears. So I feel somebody was either with him as he passed or around about him when he passed. Again, so I've got Dad here. I know I've got heart problems here. I know there's a hospital around him at the end. I don't know if he passed in hospital or whether he was in hospital for heart problems before. I know as well, Mum's still, his wife is still here. And I know this man is a prankster, because he wants to prank me. And I feel as well, sometimes his language could be a bit blue, because I feel like I'm going to have to watch my P's and Q's with him in case a few words slip out here. Okay, but I feel I want to go building in some way with him as well. So I don't know whether he was a builder or whether he just was good with his hands, but he's making me aware, and he's making me aware of things around the house not getting done now that he's now. Hi, Cheryl, thank you. If you can understand this, keep going, and if you can give me some more feedback about when I'm going on on with there too. And he makes me very feel, as I'm linking with you, Cheryl, I know he wants to talk about grandchildren as well, because I feel like he's talking about the little ones as well. But I just feel like he's saying, but they're grown up now, or they're growing up now, because he's making me feel, and I don't know whether they would have been around him at the end of his life, or whether they'd have been too young, because he's just making me aware of them not being there at the end. But I know he very much wants to thank you for the support, you not only that you gave your mum, but that you gave him at the end of his life. He would never have shown it, but he was quite scared. I know he's scared about what's happening to him. And I know he's scared that this next one is going to be the last one, because this is the way he's making me feel. I just feel like any moment I could be snuffed out. And it's almost like I'm waiting for it. And I feel this proud man gets very kind of anxious towards the end of his life, because this is the way he's making me feel. And as I say that, I want to reach out and hold your hand, because you were there to steady him. I don't know whether this is a brother or your partner or something as well, but he brings attention to a gentleman of your own age group around you that he was aware of towards the end of his life, and he thanks them as well for the support that was given to the family, because he's making me very much aware of those two. He's telling me that your life is moving on. I don't know whether this is to do with, I feel like he's showing me water passing under the bridge. I don't know if he's telling me he's been gone a little while, or whether he's telling me that your life is moving on, because he's glad for you. It feels like things have been heavy and stuck for you for so long, and that he's just trying to give you that bit of hope and courage. That it's almost like, when's the change going to come? When are things going to get better? When, whatever this blockage is, when is it going to clear? 14. Well, that was quite a few. I know they weren't all around him at the end, because he tells me the grandchildren went. You nursed him at home. He must have been in and out of hospital. You may have nursed him at home, but he must have been in and out of hospital as well, because I know he shows me himself in a hospital. But I also know he hated hospitals, because he tells me that very. Can you understand as well? He said, I know I needed rest, but I feel like it's a constant stream in and out the bedroom. Or I don't know if he was kept in the bedroom or whether he was downstairs, but I just feel like a never-ending stream of people in and out to see him. Do you understand if when you're talking about your daughter? I feel with your daughter, this is a sudden passing with your daughter, because I don't know whether it's expected or whether it's expected in the way that it happens, because I'm feeling very much of an unexpectedness about your daughter. And I also have to say as well, I feel like your daughter must have left children behind as well, because I have to bring attention to children that she has left behind as well. That's fine, as long as you understand it's hated hospitals. But I just know, because he showed me him and then he took himself out of the hospital, so that would make sense, because he doesn't want to stay, even in spirit, he doesn't want to stay in the hospital. He wants to get out of there, because he's not very happy about being there. And I know as well, he tells me, I feel like when you talk about your sister and you talk about him, he's telling me they're together now, but I feel like the remains or wherever they're placed or something like that, he says we are together on the earth as well as in spirit, because I feel that's what he's talking about here. And I know your dad would never have believed in this, but I don't know whether you would have spoken to him that you're going to be all right, or that his mum is going to be there, or his dad is going to be there, whatever it is, because I just feel you try to make things easy for me. He said, but I wasn't believed. He said, I believe now. He said, because I'm here now. And I feel as well, Cheryl, that this isn't the first time you've heard from your dad, or you're very aware of your dad around me, because I feel like sometimes it seems as if somebody's whispering in your ear and he goes, that's me. Because when you were growing up, your dad wanted to know everything about you. He wanted to know what you were doing, what you were up to, and he was always giving advice. And I feel like he still is. He's still in your ear trying to give you advice. And he says it's like when you were growing up, you still don't listen, okay? Because I'm very much aware of that too. I'm aware of a lady here I believe to be his mum, and I believe there's very much a similarity there between him and his mum. But then as I look at you, I feel there's a similarity between you, your dad, and his mother. So I feel like you can take after that side of the family, and I feel the sister you talk about, I feel like she's not like the rest of you. I'm seeing a different looking lady in my mind to you, and to the way this gentleman presents himself to me. He's he's what I call a lovable rogue, because I feel he could be lovely to people, but he could be quite cheeky to them as well, because this is the way that he's making me feel. You know, he'd be really nice to you, but you weren't sure whether there was a one-liner or something coming with that as well. But I just know he's just come in here today to say thank you for the care that you all gave me at the end of my life. I feel like you went out of your way to make sure he didn't go into hospital, because again he talks about being scared of the dark towards the end. But I feel, right, okay, you can understand the unexpectedness about your sister then, because I know he did believe, right, okay. Well, he does believe. He's telling me you must have spoken to him about it before he passes. That's okay, Cheryl. I know, and because I know he tells me, you know, he's here, because he tells me that. So either through a medium or you yourself, because I know he talks about that there too. There's something that needs repaired in your house, and I don't know what it was, but it's driving him mad. I don't know if it's a leaking tap or something that doesn't work right. Well, if you didn't know his mum, I'm very much aware of this lady in the spirit with him now. I don't know if there's photographs of her or not, but I just know there's a lady very much like him within the spirit world. I know he's just telling me to say that I'm here, I'm okay. I love you to bits. I love you all to bits. And I feel like there was nothing he would have liked better than the 14 grandchildren and all the women. He's talking about women. So not only have you got 4 sisters, I feel there must be quite a few girls and the grandchildren, because he's talking about, I had a lot of women in my life, he's saying. He said, I had a lot to put up with. But I feel this was a joke as well. He kept talking about all the chattering women in his house. But I know there's nothing he likes better than getting all his family together for celebrations and being a part of that. And I feel I'm seeing at Christmas time, almost feeling like Santa Claus, with all the kids coming up to him getting their presents, because he just loved he's saying, I love my life. He said, okay, it was over. He said, but he said, the life I had was good. We had plans, Mum and I, for more. He said, but the time we had was good. And I know he wants to leave that there with you too. I feel like as well, there's private words spoken to him by someone after he passes. I don't know if somebody went and visited him at the funeral home, or after he's passed. I don't know whether he died at home and somebody went in when he's still there and spoke to him. But he talks to me about the private conversation somebody had with him after he passes, because he tells me he heard every word. He wants it known he heard every word. He also tells me he feels like a king, because I know there would have been things put in the coffin with him too, for the belonging to different members of the family, because he tells me he has mementos with him in the coffin. Take your dad's love. Know he's there with your sister, but it's mainly your dad just wants to come in. Okay. Okay. He just wants to say to you, I love you, girl, because you were my girl. And that's fine. He's just saying, but you are my girl. You are my girl. I'm not saying your other sisters weren't, but he's just saying, but you are my girl, and I love you, girl. Okay, and I love you. And I don't want to raise a drink to you. I want to raise a cup of tea with you and just say, go and have one for me, girl. And I'm proud of all of you. I love all of you, and I'm proud of all of you. He wants to start talking about all these different grandchildren, but I don't want to. I know as before I move away from you, I have to say for your sister that thank you for what you've done for her daughter. So you must have either taken her under your wing or you've supported her in some way, because he's making me very much aware. Thank you. She's making me very much aware. Thank you for what you did for my daughter. She's never recovered. She's making me aware. She's just saying she hasn't recovered yet. And thank you for being there with me. And with that, Cheryl, I'll say thank you for working with me. I'm very much aware now of a lady joining me. Adverts. Okay, thank you. I'll stop.
We'll be back in 2 minutes, everyone.
Okay.
Spiritual Psychics TV is hosting our annual recognition of achievements, acknowledging those who dedicate their lives through spiritual acts of kindness. Candidates can register and put themselves forward to be acknowledged. Viewers can also nominate who they feel should be recognized for an achievement. Exclusively broadcasted live on SPTV, with 100% of the public votes being announced on Saturday the 27th of May from 7:30 p.m. For more information, please visit awards.spiritualpsychicstv.online. Spiritual Psychics TV, bringing spiritual people together. Wimbledon Spiritualist Church hosts our divine service tomorrow. This starts from 11 a.m. with a demonstration of mediumship. Join Polly, Jane, and Sarah for the Sunday Sofa from 4 p.m. tomorrow. The show consists of advice, gossip, and free readings, be it oracle card or mediumship.
Hi, back for part 2. I'm just being made aware, because I actually, as I'm looking at the screen here, all I'm aware of is, or the only comments that I'm aware of are those who can take the information that I'm giving out to you. Please be aware that I do not go direct, so there's no point saying to you, can I have a message or can I have a reading or whatever it is, because I won't pick you up. If you want a private sitting, you're welcome to contact me, Karen Davies Medium, on my website, or on Facebook. I'm on there as well. You can contact me through that. I'm not a card reader, so if you want card readings, you're going to have to go to somebody else, but I don't do that, because the way that I work, the way that I'm taught to work, is to go to the spirit, to have a really strong connection with the information I'm getting from spirit, and hopefully be able to place that to one of you here there. So there's no point you keep saying to me, can I have a reading, can I have a reading, can I have a reading, because I can't even see it, let alone respond. Okay, so just let me give that little bit of housekeeping to you. Just start wasting your time emailing me, because I can't even see it. Okay, right, I'm very much aware of a lady coming to join me here, and I feel this is somebody like an aunt, or it could be a grandmother that's lost her partner, because this lady very much lives on her own. I feel as I want to go into country conditions with her, because I'm almost seeing, like, I don't know if it's chickens or a small holding or growing her own fruit and veg and things like that. This woman is no nonsense. There is no makeup. There is no attempt to tidy myself. What you get is what you find with me. I know as well she must have been a knitter, or she favoured wearing kind of, I would say, badly knitted things, because as she showed me herself, she kind of showed me herself pulling this of kind of old moth-eaten sweater over the top, but I know it's hand knitted. I feel as well with her, very solitary with her. So I feel she's family to somebody, but also I feel it's like she's like the mad aunt or something like that. We don't talk about her, we don't see her very much. And I don't think it's not because that you don't make an effort to see her. I just find like she doesn't want to see anybody. She's happy in her own little world. She showed me water. I don't know if it's streams or a river or a lake. This isn't the sea, but she showed me water or something round where she lives. I know she's very much hands-on, because I'm seeing her with her hands in the earth and doing things, and I'm seeing like big galoshes or something on her feet as well. And I know as I go into her home, it's not what I would call a home, it's a house. Okay, John, thank you. It's not, she doesn't take any time with the fancy knickknacks around the house. It's practical, she says. And it's like, I've got an old stove and an old kitchen, but it does me. I don't know whether she would have made homemade jam or even I'm saying wine, but I don't know if it would have been wine. But I feel like I'm very much good at making things for myself. I feel as well, I don't know whether even she would have passed and it would have been a while she was found, or it would have been a while before people knew that she'd gone, because I'm just feeling this very much aloneness with me at the end of her life. And as my granddad's sister lost her husband, and we said, okay, Kelly, let me work with you. You understand when I said, that's fine. You understand, I want to say this woman is, I want to say what you would call eccentric. She's like, you know, she's like a woman. There's a wonderful poem about when I'm old, I should do what I like and wear purple. And this is this lady, you know, she didn't care what anybody said. She didn't care what she wore. She was her, and that was very much her own way. She tells me, as I'm linking with you, Kelly, that you're very much her own, I want to say, very much similar to her, and that you very much have your own free spirit there. And she shows me the cat, and she talks about a witch's cat. Now, I'm not sure it's because of her lifetime of that, or whether people kind of said, oh, she's the old witch that lives up the road. There's that kind of sense of it, like the wise woman or the witch that people used to kind of gossip around. But she talks to me very much about you having that witchiness within you, or that knowing within you, because she says in some ways you're very like her, but you're just much more sociable than her. And as I know, as I'm saying this as well, I mean, before I sort of jams, and I wasn't sure if it was wine or not. I don't know if she'd have made her own. She loved purple. That's great, because she gave something that purple poem went into my head. I don't know whether she'd have made her own herbs or her own brews and potions or something. Because this is what she's saying to me there. It's almost like she's coming through to you tonight with quite a simple message to you. She's saying, don't let anybody remember her, and remember the way that she didn't let anyone restrict her within life. And she's saying very much to you, what's going on around you, or what you're thinking about your own life and the way forward, to very much forge your own path. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. She says it's only up to you to be happy. That's why I thought you had to have that witchiness there with her, because she's talking to me about that witchiness within you. She called you a cat, you're familiar. So that was why I sort of felt there was that there with you. Yeah. That's what she would say, it's witchy, because this is what she's making me feel. She may have been able to do mediumship, but she would never called it witchiness. She would never called it mediumship. She would just have accepted that was just part of who she was, and that was just the way that life was. And I feel as well, I say she made homemade jams, good, but I also want to say as well, you know, I say that she didn't see everything, but I feel she had her own spirits around her that she would talk away to. So I don't know whether she would talk a lot to herself, but she said, I wasn't talking to myself. I knew there was people there, and I knew I was talking to them, she said, because she said that's just the way life is. But she very much, right, okay, you understand, right, okay. But I have to say to you, she's saying to you about your witchy path. Now, I don't know whether people have been questioning you, or you've been questioning, should you be doing it, or is it right for you? She said 100%, it runs in your veins, okay? And she's telling me the more you deny it, the more it will come back and back and back. And it's almost like until you get on that path and say, I don't know where this is going to go, and people are going to think I'm mad. And I thought that for a long time. I wouldn't admit I was a medium. Even still now, to some people, I don't admit I'm a medium, because people always think you're mad. But she's saying, don't let anybody call you anything, because she's showing that's what she was speaking to them, because I know she tells me she's talking to spirit, she's having chats with spirit before she goes. She showed me like a guiding star up there, and she says, I am your guiding star, listen to me, talk to me, and I won't lead you wrong. But it's almost like live by my example. And follow your own path, because I want to say there's too long you've been within your life trying to walk the path that other people have told you to, or not to do this, or whatever. And her message is you to she's talking about your love of the sea, that you share that with her too. And I don't know whether you live by the sea, but she's suggesting you go and walk by the sea and get the cobweb. That you get the cobwebs out, but it's just like, look at this shining star, she said, and just follow it. She said, your path is there, you know what your path is, you know the way you have to go, just stay focused and go in it. She said, you're going to be surprised as you go forward in life just about what you are able to do. Now, with your mediumship, I don't know whether you're going to work with a medium or not, but I know you will work with your gift in helping people, because she talks about the people that you help upon your path, and she's so proud of the girl that you are. Okay, she's showing me purple hair. I don't know whether that was you or her, but she's saying a bit. She's going to talk about a bit of purple in the hair. So I have no idea what she's on about there. Maybe you know about that there, or whether she wore purple ribbons in her hair. But I know you told me she loved purple, but she showed me purple in her hair. But take her love and know she's there with you. She is so strong with you that you it's like you can't move with you. And I feel particularly at the moment, she said, when you listen to me, she said, then I'll go away and leave you in peace. But she said, at the moment, I have to tell you that this is the way for you to go. She's showing cards to me. So I don't know whether you do use tarot or whether she's suggesting you use cards, but she's dealing out cards to me here, okay, as well. And she showed me a crystal ball as well, but I don't know whether she's just joking with me now and showing me all these witchy things and saying, that's her, an old witch like me. Okay, so take your grandma's love and know that she's there with you. She's saying, don't think about the end of my life because that wasn't very good. She said, and I had a good life and I was happy with my life. She's saying, I feel like her poor husband was so put upon. He didn't get a word to say. Okay, you understand that. You think of going red, but well, she approves then, because I feel like I want a bit of purple in your hair, okay? Because she's just saying that. But I know it's like her poor husband. He was steamrolled over. You know, but she said, don't you do that in a partner. You make sure you have someone you're equal so you can respect him, she said, because I just feel her part, your granddad was putty in her hand. She couldn't do a thing. Okay, so with that, I'll say thank you very much for working. Take this lovely lady. I like her. I wish I could stay with her longer, because I feel like, as I say, I wish I could stay with her longer. This woman has a lot of knowledge that she learned, okay, about life, and she said people thought I was mad, but she said I knew more than most. She's saying I knew more than most, and she just goes like that to me. Okay, so just take her love, and I'll say thank you very much for I don't know whether she knitted and just wasn't very good at it, or whether she just wore old things, but she showed me this old natty jumper again. Okay, I don't even know whether she would have tried to teach you to knit and it wasn't one of your fortes, but she's getting the needles out, but she showed me like drop stitches in it, so I don't know if that was you or her, but I know she's back to the knitting again. Okay, she's talking about strawberry jam being her favourites, and I don't even know whether she grew strawberries, but she's talking about, oh, I loved a little bit of strawberry jam, she said. There's nothing nice in a bit of strawberry jam. And she's talking about homemade bread. So I don't know if she got it in the local bakers or she made it herself, but she's nothing nice and a bit of jam and some homemade bread. Okay, thank you, Kelly, for working with me, and keep flying the flag forward, because she's saying I'm with you every step of the way. Okay, right. Okay, she's saying don't stop doubting. I keep wanting to, when she keeps coming back in, don't tell her not to doubt herself, she said. And she's saying you've got more knowledge in your head than you'll ever find in any book, so stop reading books as well, she's saying to me. Okay, and with that I'll say thank you very much for working with me. I very much got a gentleman here that joins from Spirit. I feel I want to go granddad here with them, and he shows me himself sitting quietly with a pipe in his mouth, and because I feel like this is a man that's, because I'm saying, well, what have you got to say? And it's like, well, I'm here, isn't that enough? I feel he could be quite difficult and quite stubborn, and I feel like he would have very much liked his own company. He shows me a room full of books. I don't know whether he would have liked books, or whether he was just a good reader, but he shows me books around him. And I know this is what I call an intelligent man here in my mind. He shows me an old dog lying beside them. So I do believe at some stage he would have had the company of a dog around him. But I like my own company very much with this man here. I know as well, I'm in the house and I've got but I also know I like to open the door and just walk, and I like to walk on my own. But I do feel the person that I want to connect with, when they were younger, would have spent time around this gentleman, but I feel either they were quiet or they just sat and listened to him. But I know there's a nice relationship here between grandfather and grandchild, because I'm aware of a closeness between grandfather and grandchild that might not have been there with his own children, because this is just the way I'm making me feel. And I know there's a lot of fondness still for this grandfather, because I just feel he was such an important part of your life when you were growing up, that you know, this you still think about him, as he shows me the pipe as well. I don't know whether or not he would have given you the honor. I feel like he's saying given you the honor. Okay, Rita, let me work with you there. I don't know whether you would have had the honor of tapping his pipe for him or stuffing his pipe, because he's talking. I feel. I think it was Cheryl I had up before. I can't remember now. I don't want to say you're walking everywhere with Grandad. My granddad Jack. Rita, I'm drawn to you, so can I work with you? Because I do. As soon as your name came up, I looked at you and I thought, yeah. He said, yeah, that's my girl. Okay. He's saying you're a lot bigger now, though, than he remembers you. Okay. But he's talking about you. I'm seeing this little kind of elfin face with you, and he said, that's you. You were always cheeky. He said you were always cheeky, and I feel like as well you would have spoken back to him and got away with it, and the fact that nobody else gets away with it, and it's like people are watching and saying she can say, oh, well, I couldn't say that because they'd have got a clip round the ear. But I just know he accepts a lot from you. But I know as well he gave you a lot of knowledge growing. I feel as a child he gave you a lot of like life wisdom. And I feel like that's what he wants to come in tonight to talk to you about. So I need to have a sip of water. About his life, about life wisdom, because I feel you've got decisions or something to make around your life. And he's showing you books as well. So I don't know if this is around education or about learning a new skill, but he's talking about wanting to come in and give you a boost of confidence, because he's making me aware that recently within your own life, there's been a lack of confidence. Okay. There's like a lack of confidence or something around you, and he's just saying that we can't have that. He's saying don't, and not like the last girl, but in her own way, he's saying don't let anybody put you down. He's saying, you know, stand up, get your chin up and walk tall. It's like your decisions about making, about how you're going to go forward in life. And there's something either he doesn't feel you've got the confidence to do, or whether you've thought, oh, I'd love to do that, but I don't know whether I can. I don't know what, but I feel there's some kind of learning to this, because he's saying to me very much, you can do anything you put your mind to. And it's like, I want to. Okay, I know you've been through a lot, because he's telling me there's a lot going on in your life when you've had to just get on and do things. He said it's time now to pull all your strength together for that one last push to get you back where you need to be. Because you mentioned the pit, and he's saying, yeah, he said, you know all about the pit because you've been down the pit with me. He said, in the darkness, he said, and you've clawed your way out. He said, and you're starting to see the light at the top. He said, and I'm here to tell you, you've not that much further to go, because I know he tells me whatever it is going on in your life, it's like you almost wanted to give up on it. And he's saying, no, he said, come on that little bit further. And he talks about as well, he talks about the darkness of the pit, but he also talks about as well when he came up and the sunlight was dazzling. And he's saying that to you, once you get that little bit further up, he said, and the sunlight is around you, he said, then you'll be dazzled at life. It's like, I want to say the colours are coming back into life for you, because it's very much like you've been in the dark and your colours have been it's like your life has been in the black and white, and he wants to put colour back in your life for me. I know as I want to start wheezing with him, but I don't know whether it's because of the pit or because of the tobacco, but I feel like I want to wheeze with him as I'm saying that now. And I know as well he would have had a disgusting habit of coughing stuff up. I don't know what it was, but I just feel I want to clear my throat, but I feel like I'm coughing stuff up. So I don't know if it's to do with stuff in his lungs, to do with the with the pits, or whether it was just phlegm, but I know he's got this habit there too. I want to put like little glasses on his nose, and he's just peering down the glass, and he's peering down at you. I'm seeing wood around him, which is interesting, because I don't know whether he was good with wood, because he's suddenly making me aware of Pinocchio and Giuseppe and Pinocchio and how he made the boy, and he's saying, listen to what I taught you, and let me make you, let me give this to you. Understand this phlegm, because this is just the way he's made, and I want to go, it's not very pleasant, but this is what I wanted. But I feel him coughing this up, this up as well. He always knew his old lungs were going to get him, but I feel as well, going back within the family, I know you've got pit within the family, but I feel there would have been tuberculosis, or in the old days they used to call it consumption, because he's talking about a lot of people around him dying of chest, but it's not all related to the pit. It's the conditions we lived in. He's saying to me, the conditions we lived in. But he wants you just to put that smile back. He's coming in to get you to put the smile back on his face, the colour back into your life, and just to let you know you're nearly there at the end of the line. I don't know why he's suddenly showing me a railway, and I don't know whether this is connecting around him or whether it's something around you going on a journey, but he's just suddenly showing me this railway. Okay, you understand the glasses on there, because that's what I wanted. He showed me, I don't know whether you remember Pinocchio, but it's like he had these little glasses that used to sit on the end of his nose, and he used to peer down, and I feel this is what he's doing. He loved his food. I feel like, because he's shown me his belly, and I know we've got a nice belly here, and I feel a really contented man within himself, but don't cross him, because he can be a real grump when he's out of sorts. Okay, and he let you get away with murder because he absolutely adored me. He's pulling a coin out behind his ear for you, so I feel like he would either given you a few coins when you were little, or he would have played those kind of games with you, because he's suddenly pulling this gold coin out of you, and he's giving it to me, and he's saying to you, keep it for luck. Keep it for luck, and know that I'm very much with me. He said, nobody else bothered about me. He said, nobody else bothers about me now. He said, but you still remember me, and I want you to know I'm very much around you now, because we have to get your life sorted, and we have to get you sorted. Okay, so take Granddad's love and know he's very much. I feel like he's still looking. He's bringing back to the glasses again. So if you're starting to read, you shouldn't have said that. So I'm about to say, he's talking about you in glasses as well. I don't know whether you need to wear glasses or whether you need to get your eyes tested, but he's talking about the glasses on your nose as well. He said, and I feel as well, he said, if you remember me and you look at yourself in the mirror with these glasses on your nose, he said, we're a right pair, aren't we? Okay, and just take his love and thank you very much. I don't know whether there would have been somebody would have died in the pit, because he's suddenly making me aware of somebody being buried in a I played tricks with him, that's fine. And I know he talks about somebody being buried in the pit or buried in the darkness, because I feel like it was always a fear of him of being buried alive. He's making me very much aware of being, but he's saying in some ways that's what you felt like. He said, but no more, girl, come on, let's go on. And I'll say thank you very much for working with me, Rita. Okay, thank you. Pardon?
Sadly, that's it.
Okay, well, thank you all for joining me this evening. I'm sorry I only managed to get round a few of you, but I hope even if you didn't get a message, you accept that Spirit has come to speak to others, that your loved ones too are there to speak to you. Unfortunately, I just can't get around all of you. As I said at the beginning, and I will say again, I am available for private sittings as well. So you can either contact me on my website, KarenDaviesMedium.com, or through my Facebook page, Karen Davies Psychic Medium. And I look forward to seeing you all again at some time in the future. And I hope for those that did receive messages tonight that it is some help to you. And I want to say thank you all for working with me, and good evening, good night. Thank you. Thank you, Terry.